Thanks for watching. Please like and share this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. God bless you.
September 19, 1914. Snake handling at the South Cleveland Tabernacle was very effective for good. Some were bitten, but with no damage. Now, A.J. Tomlinson often said, and I quote, "Beware of presumption. Prove all things, hold fast to that which is good, abstain from all appearance of evil." But don't think that this was an uncommon event. Because from 1914 until 1936, there are over 100 positive mentions of snake handling in the Church of God Evangel. They handled snakes in church. They handled snakes at district rallies. They handled snakes in camp meeting. They handled snakes in West Virginia and Ohio and Tennessee and Kentucky and Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, Arkansas, Missouri, as far west as Arizona. It was prominent for 20 years. Based on a literalist hermeneutic of Mark 16, 19 through 20, where signs follow believers, is speaking in tongues and casting out devils and healing people as a sign of the Spirit, then so is snake handling, so is taking up the serpent. They had a theology of snake handling. It signified authority over Satan and anticipates the millennium. They quoted Isaiah 11:8. "The nursing child will play by the hole of the cobra, and the weaned child will put his hand on the viper's den." And there are testimonies in the evangels of children petting rattlesnakes like kittens. They thought it was one of the spiritual gifts of miracles. Snake handling is affirmed 3 times in the Church of God Book of Doctrines in 1922, and it's mentioned twice in the minutes of the General Assembly, specifically saying that snake handling is not a test of membership, but they didn't reject it either. They never explicitly listed it as a teaching in the minutes, but they did list signs following believers. Snake handling happened throughout the leadership of Tomlinson, Lee, and Latimer. What's interesting, as early as 1914, when they began talking about it, almost immediately, Ian Bale writes an article in the Pentecostal Evangel against snake handling, and the Assembly of God never talk about it again. They totally rejected it. The Pentecostal Holiness Church in the Advocate had several articles about snake handling, all against it. And I asked Dr. Dale Coulter today about this before I came here, and I couldn't find it, and he confirmed. We can't find any evidence that it happened in the Church of God in Christ. Of the major Pentecostal denominations, only in the Church of God. But this is significant. There was a sudden shift in 1939. In 1939, E.L. Simmons was the editor of the Evangel, and he published an editorial in which he said snake handling was showboating. And within 2 years, 3 years, there's no more mention of snake handling. And it's also significant that in Simmons' History of the Church of God, published in 1938, nowhere does he mention snake handling. Again, Dr. Coulter and I have talked about this, and I think he's got something here. He says that the election of J.H. Walker in 1935 and that executive council, he calls them that bunch of young Turks, changed the direction of the Church of God. I think this is an example of that. Steve Land, in his essay, Praying in the Spirit, A Pentecostal Perspective, wrote, "Folk religion and populist theology carry all the dangers of fanaticism and all the promise of continual renewal in the church. Pentecostalism has experienced and manifested both tendencies." We need to remember the words of the first general overseer. Beware of presuming, beware of presumption. Examine everything carefully.